Okay, I'm live. Hello, everybody. Waiting for somebody else to show up. Hopefully, Bob and Blackie will be here. But meanwhile, you're just kind of stuck with me, I guess. I guess I could do this and this. Hi, Kiwi, grasshopper, cat, trash cat. Let me go check Facebook and see if anybody's coming. Okay, I shall post it here. I don't know. Haven't heard from them, but hopefully they'll be here. And if anybody wants to come up, you're welcome to. Star scratched me on the mouth. She jumped up on my face in bed. So I got this nice little scratch right there. Hopefully it doesn't look too bad. And I'll show you guys a drawing that I have that I'm hopefully somebody will want to buy. That is like a first winter calf. It's not really showing up very good. I should have taken a picture of it. And then, of course, I have the frog and the big buffalo. Hi, BJ. Okay. I was going to go to the post office today, and I even got my boots on and everything, but then a friend sent me some stuff, and it was arriving, so I ended up not making it to the post office because I had to wait for that stuff to get here. Hi, GRB. Yep, doing pretty good, except I'm just cold tonight. It's cold in the house tonight. And I'm lonely because there's nobody up here with me right now. That's right. If I had a better webcam, you'd have to look at me in higher definition. That could be a bad thing. But then my art would show up better too, which would be a good thing. So it's kind of like, whatever. So how's everybody's new year going so far? Oscars, only Oscars. June, hello. So if anybody wants to come up, you're sure welcome to. Or give me a subject to talk about, because I don't see anybody showing up yet. Let me check and see if anybody answered. Oh, Blackie says he's running slow. He'll be here shortly. But I don't see Bob at all. We'll just have to wait and see. Damn ghost stories. I lived in a haunted house for a while. You guys have probably all heard the stories, though. But I could tell you some. My first kiss, oh my God, that would have been so long ago. I don't even remember myself. Actually, I think it was, I had a boyfriend in Orlando, and he decided on my 16th birthday that I couldn't be 16 and never been kissed, so he kissed me, which was extremely embarrassing to me. And I didn't do any more than that until I was like 19, believe it or not. How about you guys? When was your first kiss? Test? So I'll show you guys again my new little buffalo tonight. I haven't gotten a picture of it yet. And this webcam doesn't show any detail. But it is a buffalo calf that's probably about 4 or 5 months old. And it's about, not quite 4 by 6, but probably pretty close to it. Probably like 3.5 by 5.5, something like that. I haven't measured it, so. Trash cat, I know better than that. You have a daughter. Your mom kissed you when you were a baby. My first kiss was the second to the last week of August last year at a hotel from picking up a girl from the airport. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Somehow I don't totally believe you either, Grasshopper. But that's okay. We'll go with it. Huh. I gotta look up something here for a second. No, that's not what I want to do. I'm getting a bit of a toothache. I hope it doesn't last very long. And still nobody's here. Hi, Big Steve. If anybody wants to come up with me, I'll post the link once again for StreamYards. Gold Nugget, Pleco, and Tetra. Huh. Hello. You kissed a girl and you liked the taste of her cherry chapstick? Well, everybody else keep joining in. Mm. Nobody wants to join in because it's rather a personal subject. And of course, we can do this. Yep, smash that like. Yeah, we were talking about our first kiss. We were looking for a subject to talk about, and somebody suggested that. Craig, hello. I bet you Bob took a nap or something because I don't even see him on Facebook. But Blackie said he'd be here shortly. Let me check again. Yeah, Blackie says he'll be there shortly, and I don't see Bob even online. Nona, hello. I'm opening up my channel to new things. So a new name, how do you all like it? What kind of new things are you going to have on there? Oh, yeah, how are you doing, Nona? Improving, that's good. Me too. I actually got my boots on today and I was going to go to the post office, but then I got a notice that a friend had sent me some stuff and it was arriving, so I had to kind of wait for that. So I'm going to go tomorrow instead. Outdoors, cooking, biking, everyday things. That'd be cool. That would be very cool. Is anybody else doing anything exciting on their channel? Hmm. What else does anybody want to talk about? Since I'm up here all by myself, I need a subject. Hi, Mark. Outdoor cooking can get a lot of views. Yeah, it can. It is cold. It is clear and 19 degrees. Not as cold as it was. Like Christmas Eve, it was, I checked the weather on Christmas Eve and it was like -3. So it's not that cold, but it's still chilly. And there's still snow on the ground. Also from New Year's Eve, it snowed like early New Year's Eve, and it has not gotten warm enough to melt it yet. So kind of like got warm enough to where the roads are clear, but in the grass and stuff, there's still snow. Talk about your art supplies. You mentioned that you were low on colored pencils. Oh, I always use Prismacolor colored pencils. And the paper that I like the best is the handmade bark paper that I get. And Alec sent me $50 just before Christmas and said to spend it on art supplies, so I got some more paper. Yeah, it used to be, even 5 years ago, it was a lot colder here. It's definitely warming up. I mean, I hate to say it, but the last couple winters, it's been really obvious. Like 5 years ago, there were times when it would get down to like -40 here. And I haven't seen that for quite a few years now. And also, there has not been anywhere near the amount of snow that we used to get all the time. There's still some snow, but I mean, like we were talking like 5 years ago, we'd get totally snowed in to where we couldn't get out of the driveway, and there'd be like 6 feet of snow easy. So I hate to say it, but it's temperatures are definitely warming up everywhere. -40, that's insane. Yeah, when I lived up in Montana, I saw -50 a couple times, -52. That's when it's getting really cold. Last summer was, what was that? I kind of blanked out there for a minute. A couple summers ago, we had bad fires. Yeah, I don't know what caused that. I just saw like this circle of death for a second, and then it went away. And the dog isn't on top of stuff. The dog, the last few days, has like shut the internet, shut the computer off, and rebooted for me like 4 or 5 times in the last couple of days because she gets up on top of the power strip and steps on the on and off button, shuts everything down. Oh, 0 is about the coldest we've seen in Maryland. Yeah, I'm not talking wind chill. I mean, I'm talking just flat temperature of like -40 and -50 in Montana and Wyoming. I don't even want to think about what it would be if you counted wind chill. I know when it was -50, I had a date. We were supposed to go hiking. And I kind of thought he'd probably cancel it, but he didn't. And I got up that morning, it was -52. And it was clear, and we went hiking, but I wore like, and I'm not even kidding, I wore like 4 or 5 pairs of socks and some boots that were a little bit big on me so I could fit a bunch of extra socks. And I put pairs of socks on my hands, like 3 or 4 pairs of socks on my hands, and I had scarves wrapped around my face where all you could see is my eyeballs. Stocking caps and all that stuff. Wiki feet, hello. Extra peanut sauce and no bean sprouts. But it was so cold there. We were walking through the forest, and it was so cold that it sounded like there was like shotguns going off. And what it was and we got to figure this is -50, right? What sounded like shotguns going off was the sap freezing inside of trees and the trees cracking on the inside. Did your date give you the cold shoulder? No. And then up in the sky, there was like these little rainbow things. They call them, I don't know, remember what they call them, ice dogs or something like that. And what it is actually like frozen atmosphere with the sun shining through it. It makes these little teeny rainbows spots all over the place. Hey, Mojo. And I did one painting from that day I should show you guys. Sundogs. Yep, that was it. Sundogs. I couldn't remember it for nothing in the world, but yeah. Sundogs, that's what that is. Frozen atmosphere. It's cold when it does that. Very, very cold. Okay. I'm going to go to paintings, because I actually did a small painting from that day. And this was like in the middle of the afternoon, and it was still like -32 or something like that. Let me see if I can find it here. Because I do paintings of everything, you know, paintings are like my memories. And I missed it. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Let me see here. Let me pull it up. Oh, I don't want to do that. I flipped it upside down. Okay. I think I could show you guys this now. It wasn't a very big painting, but this is from that day when it was so cold. Let me see here. Present. Share screen. Share, and there it is, the little painting that I did of that day. And those sheep are actually walking across what is normally a lake, but it was frozen pretty damn solid. Just kind of a fun little painting. And that's it. Yeah, I totally agree, Big Steve. That's the thought that like um came into play in another painting that I did, because I was doing like the sky was like really, really pretty in a storm rolling in, big storm clouds and stuff. I know everybody's seen this painting before, but I guess I could pull it up, but we'll see. But anyway, so I painted the storm, and then I was trying to figure out what I wanted to put in the foreground, because you got to have something in the foreground. So that's a thought that hit me, is wondering how Native people dealt with the big storms when they were living in teepees, and these, because the storm came with like um, 70 to 90-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and there was a tornado followed it, and yeah, it was a pretty big storm. So it made me think of that, and I put teepees in the foreground, which I know is one of Grasshopper's favorite paintings that I've done that he likes. So I'll go ahead and show it real quick. But this is a storm that was over Bozeman and then hit Livingston, and then right after it went over Livingston, it turned into a tornado. So I can show you that real quick, even though like I say, I know you guys have mostly seen it before. But, I'm desperate on things to talk about right now. So there's that. Like I say, the storm was rolling over Bozeman and then Livingston, and there was some tornadoes that followed it after it got past Livingston. So anyway, so that's what I ended up doing in the foreground. The teepee storm, yes. Yeah, that's one of my paintings. That was like a 16 by 20 painting. Like I said, my paintings are mostly my memories, most of them. A lot of them have stories that go with them. Show some paintings with water. Okay, let me see what I've got. I don't know how many I have with water. I've got some with incidental water. Oh yeah, I've got ducks and stuff. I should show some paintings with water. Okay. So we'll do this one here. Is a mute swan on Cape Cod. And it definitely has water. This was like a 12 by 24 painting. And like I say, it's on Cape Cod. This one was kind of funny because I saw the swans out in the middle of this lake, and I've been wanting to do a painting of a swan. So I had a loaf of bread with me, and I had my daughter, I like sat down on the bank to where I could like be in a good position to get some good reference photos. And had my daughter like take the loaf of bread, and she was throwing bread to this pair of swans. And when she ran out of bread, the swans chased her back to the car. She was screaming because mute swans are kind of nasty. They can be kind of mean. The trumpeter swans, like we have over here on the West Coast, are generally not mean, but mute swans can be mean. But But anyway, yeah, so there's one painting with water. Oh, thank you, Big BJ. And let me see, I can do another. Let's see what else I've got with water. Let me see. Horses, nope. No, nope. Buffalo. Oh, there's some ducks. I can show a pair of ducks with their reflections in the water. And that's a pair of mallard ducks with their reflections in the water. And those ducks were in Livingston, out in the lagoon. There's a lagoon park in the middle of town in Livingston, Montana. And I would always go there and feed the ducks in the spring and fall. The trumpeter swans would be traveling through, and they'd stop there for 2 or 3 days. So I'd always get reference photos of them as well. And wood ducks. I got a lot of pictures of wood ducks from that lagoon, and then just various different ducks at different times, but the majority of them were the mallards and the wood ducks. So let me see, I can do another one. Let me see what else I've got here. Horses, horses. Oh, I don't know how many I have of water. Water is always fun to paint though with the reflections. This isn't water, but it's like one of my favorite paintings that I've done. It's a mule deer buck, so I'll show it real quick. This was like a 22 by 28 painting, if I remember right. But it's a nice muley. Are you guys tired of looking at stuff yet? No, actually, a friend of mine took that picture of the mule deer that I used for reference for that photo. What would that painting of the mule deer be worth? Well, I sold it for $3,000, but that was a few years ago, so it would probably be worth quite a bit more now. Let me see what else I got. Bear. There's some ducks, but I don't really, the water's kind of boring in that one. Moose, moose. There's an old elk, probably his last winter because he's getting kind of old and not in too good a shape anymore. And he was in Yellowstone Park when I saw him. actually, I made Christmas cards with this guy this year, and I've got a bunch of them sitting here ready to go out when I go to the post office tomorrow. So a lot of you will be getting a Christmas card with this guy on it. And let me see, a little cowboy, another duck in the water, but not a good picture of it. Here's a Canadian goose. Let me see. And this, I think it was a 12 by 24 Canadian geese. A Canadian goose and family, actually. And it was kind of fun to do. Now it was on the lagoon in Livingston as well. In the spring, there was always at least a couple goose families around. Oh, it says it's a 10 by 20 oil painting. Okay, so it was a 10 by 20. So I was wrong. My memory is not always the best on sizes. Okay, let me see if I've got any more water ones, and then hopefully somebody will show up here to save us from myself. Let me see what else I got here. Flip through some paintings here. Oh, pelicans. You guys want to see a family of pelicans? A pelican family? This was kind of a fun painting to do too. Let me get it pulled up here so I can share it. Share screen. And click on it. We've had that. Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say he's been putting it up there up all night, so I know it's there. And that is a family of brown pelicans. And that was an 18 by 24 oil painting. So what else do you guys want to talk about? I can show you the little buffalo. Oh, there's Blackie. Yay, somebody else is here with me. I think Bob must have fallen asleep or something. I haven't seen him. Hello, Blackie.
Hello there. How are you?
Well, I've just been dying here trying to think of some stuff to talk about and boring everybody to tears.
You sound like you were doing okay. I
Oh,
believe,
I don't know.
I'm not 100% certain if this is true or not, but you were just talking about pelicans, and I believe the Australian pelican has the longest beak of any bird on the planet.
Really?
I
Awesome.
believe so. I'm not 100% sure.
I see.
Yeah, I bought, just side note, I bought a external CD/DVD drive, writer, all those things, because I have this pile of discs from back when I was in the band Crow Circus, and I thought that there would be this promo video that we did. I thought that was going to be in the pile of discs, and I've had a pretty rapid skim through all the discs, and it seems I may have wasted my money to look for this video because it's not on any of the discs that I've looked at so far. Oh, pictures and stuff, but nothing that I wanted.
Somebody, Trash Cat, asked me to show pictures with water, so I was just sharing some of my paintings that have water in them. Boring everybody to death, showing them birds and stuff. Hi, Dwayne. Here is a Canadian goose with lots of water around it.
And hello to everyone in chat. That's one of your paintings?
Yeah.
That's freaking nuts, man.
It's a 24 by 30 oil painting.
Did you sell that one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's like, I mean, I know I'm looking on a small screen, but that's pretty photorealistic if you ask me, especially the water and the eyes and the everything.
Yeah, the water actually took me quite a while to do.
I wonder why. Yeah, far out. That's truly nuts. Very good, very good.
I think someplace I'll show you my trumpeter spawn, and then we'll call it good for showing paintings for the night. Oh, here's a cowboy. It doesn't have water in it, but I always kind of like this painting too. I like the feel of how it turned out. So I'll show it real quick. See, we'll add Blackie to the board people that I've been showing my work to. This one is called The Cowboy Way.
Oh, yes, I know that one. Very nice. I always enjoy your depth of field, how you've got the background in slightly out of focus looking so that the dude stands out in the front. I think that's what your intention was. I hope I didn't just help.
Oh, no, that's perfect. Here's one with water that's kind of probably not what you would expect when asked to see pictures of water. It was just a little painting. It was like a 10 by 10 oil painting.
Did you take the original photo?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That would have been exciting.
I love the bears.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Sorry, not GRB, Huawei, but g'day GRB. I'm not sure Huawei if there's anything linked to the old band because they still use that as their business name now. They do like hippie retreats and stuff like that. Sorry, mindfulness, soulfulness, wellness, all of that good stuff. But
this one I'll show you just because I was flipping by it, but this one was a 36 by 48 oil painting, which is pretty big. And I wish you could see it in person because being this size with the subject, it was kind of cool how it turned out. Yeah, 36 by 48.
And was that one of your photographs as well?
Oh, yeah. Yep. This one was funny because I couldn't decide. I had the bear almost done and the rocks, and then I couldn't decide what I was going to do with the sky behind him. And I painted a plain blue sky, and it really didn't do anything for me. And then I worked on it till about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I went to bed and closed my eyes, and it popped in my head to put storm clouds behind him. So I got back up at 2 o'clock in the morning and started putting storm clouds behind him.
Which could also double for water almost.
Almost, yeah. Oh, here's the painting. I was looking for my other water one with the reflections. I like doing reflections. So let me share this one. This is a trumpeter swan, which is not the same as the mute swan that I showed a little bit ago.
As
This
the
is
name
a West Coast native swan. The mute swans actually were imported from England and supposedly belong to the Queen. And they're rather nasty birds, and I really have always thought she should come get them back again.
Apparently all the swans in England belong to the Queen.
Yeah, well, in America, too, the mute swans over here belong to the Queen, and she needs to come get them because they're absolutely nasty and a nuisance. But anyway, yeah, that one is a 22 by 28 oil painting. And I actually have never shown that one anywhere, and I have it in my storage unit because I've never really done anything with it other than frame it.
How big did you say it is?
22 by 28.
It's good size.
Yeah, it's a good size, and with the frame, it's quite big.
I reckon you could be sitting on a fair amount of money there.
If I was going to sell it, probably like $4,000.
Seems about right, at least.
Mm-hmm. Got an eyelash in my eye. Help. And Z says, hi, Blackie. I'm Zach. He is one of our friends from the King Frostmare streams.
G'day, Zach. How's it going? Good to meet you.
Okay, so what does anybody want to talk about now that I've shown you a bunch of pictures of paintings and bored you guys to death?
Oh, hope you can't hear that. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
No.
What is that?
It's stuff that I found on one of these CDs.
Ah.
But it seems to be a bit wrong because it was put on the CD so long ago. And it's going to play me all the same track, is it? Oops. Wow, this is old, so old.
As am I. As am I.
It's not that old.
Oh, thanks. I know, huh?
I think it was very early 2000s. This is when I was known as Dr. Mike, not Dr. Black. But I called this band the Backless Blue Outfit. And it was just me. But yeah, you know the backless blue outfit that you get to wear in hospitals?
Oh, yeah, yeah. The ones that show your ass off when you walk down the hall.
Those ones, yeah. I thought it was a good name for a band, yeah, but...
Yep.
Oh, I recognize that one. And that one. And that one.
What am I working on now or plan to do next? Well, I have a couple things that I have to catch up with. That I'm behind on some things. A couple commissions, and then I'm going to do a painting of my next big painting that I have planned, I'm going to do like a 22 by 28 of a pair of bighorn sheep. And yes, for my own reference photo too. It was funny because they were like across the road from me in this field, and it was breeding season. And when I stopped and got out of my truck, I stayed close to my truck because the male was eyeing me like he thought maybe I was competition for his female.
What sort of animal did you say?
It was a bighorn sheep.
Oh, yeah, righto. Oh, yeah, right.
And they're smaller than you would think, but the males can be pretty nasty.
Yeah,
They can get mean.
all
I was
muscle.
talking to somebody that lived in Montana, and they were sitting down to Thanksgiving dinner, which Thanksgiving is pretty close to the time that the bighorn sheep come into rut. And all of a sudden they heard this crash. And what it was there was a bighorn ram that happened to be walking by and saw his reflection in one of their big windows and decided to butt heads with it, and he broke the window out.
Unit. Speaking of units, I was coming home from the supermarket just before, and just in front of the supermarket entrance, there's a T-junction, right?
Yeah.
But you've got to turn right a bit out of the T-junction before you can get into the supermarket entrance. And I'd left the supermarket and I was heading home, so I had to turn left into that T-junction. And as I was approaching that T-junction, this lady in a big black four-wheel drive just came speeding out of the T-junction, not looking, not waiting for traffic, and just sort of veered across and up into the entrance into the supermarket car park at speed. It was so fucking dangerous. I mean, so flipping dangerous.
Wow.
But, you know,
Jay's,
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, Jay's Crazy Obsessions. Hello.
Hey,
hello,
Jay.
Hello.
Yeah, you got to wonder about people like that, because there was no looking or anything. The speed that she came out of that intersection was just, she's on a mission. I'm going here and I'm going there now. Quite disturbing.
In the wintertime, the bighorn rams, so like the big boys, will go up in the mountains, and then the females and the smaller rams, the ones that don't have much size on them yet, they'll stay down in the valleys in big herds, but the big boys will kind of gather together and be up high in the mountains. And I'm going to show you a picture that I got of a little group of them that were up on a cliff, the side of a cliff.
That is a fun fact, Huawei. Bighorn sheep have a remarkable ability to navigate thousands of miles to spawn in the same river that they were born in.
Bighorn sheep?
Yeah, that's why I said it's definitely a fun fact.
I think that would be salmon.
And eels. Eels do it too.
Anyway, yeah, there's a group of the big boys.
I bet they're a popular one for people to have skulls hanging on walls with the horns attached and whatnot.
Yeah, pretty much. And there's a group of Indians that are like in, and I can't remember the name of them because it's something not very common, but there was a group of them that lived in Yellowstone and that area south of Yellowstone. And they were known for trading like things made out of the bighorn's horns. Like that was their main food, and they would make like their trade items would be like bows and arrows made out of the horns and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
So, but I can't remember what the name of the native tribe was. But yeah, they lived up in Yellowstone Park. Because there's quite a lot of bighorn sheep in Yellowstone.
Are they're native there, yeah? They're native
Yeah.
to Yellowstone in that area?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Oh, very cool. Very cool. He says he's got cow skulls and buffalo skull on display in his living room. I saw a like a mounted doll sheep, which are mostly up in Canada more than the United States, but they also like British Columbia and stuff has a lot of them, I think. But you can occasionally spot one in the Yellowstone area. Just it's pretty rare to see one, but they are there. But they're basically kind of like a bighorn, except they're pure white. But I saw a like a taxidermied one that had the most impressive horns. I'll never forget it. I've never seen horns like that before. And I was talking to the guy that shot it, and what had happened is somehow, as it was growing, it became a eunuch. It lost its nuts, and all that maleness, all that maleness went into growing horns instead. And wow. Believe me, it was impressive. He had a set of horns on him that you would not believe.
Did you say nice rack?
Yeah.
Trash Cat says swans are beautiful but can be aggressive little buggers.
The mute swans can be, yeah. The mute swans are just nasty mean. I mean, they can be really mean. The trumpeter swans, which are one of our native swans, are not so bad. And the same thing with the there's trumpeter swans, and tundra swans are also native. And
in the chat.
I think they used to be all the way across the United States, but when the mute swans got imported on the East Coast, the mute swans pretty much drove the native ones out of the area. Yeah. But they're still on the West Coast because they have a deal. The Fish and Game Department has a thing with the mute swans where when you get to a certain point heading west from the East Coast, I'm not sure where the line is, but any mute swans past that point have to be sterilized.
See you later, Lando. Thanks for popping by.
Well, there's Bob.
Yeah, there's a short video on my YouTube channel of me getting viciously attacked by a Australian native black swan.
Oh, I've seen pictures of the black swans before. They're pretty, very pretty. Hi, TJ.
TJ, hi. Dusty.
Dusty, hello. Are you going to come up, Bob? You can say hi to people from up on the panel too, you know. Just saying.
As well, Fold is out of here as well. Good to meet you, Zach. Take it easy.
Black swan is Western Australia's state bird. Oh, he just woke up. I had a feeling you were probably sleeping.
I think they've been taken probably to every continent on the planet except for Antarctica, the black swans, because they are such a pretty bird.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of somebody that has a pair of them on a lake on their property up in Canada. I don't remember exactly where, but it was somebody that used to be like a customer that would frequent my art shows, and they were showed me some pictures of some black swans that they had in their lake. They're very pretty, but like say, mute swans are they can be rather nasty.
Yeah, I can guarantee you that the attack that I suffered from the black swan was nothing like an attack from a mute swan or a Canada goose or any normal goose.
Yeah, Canada geese can be kind of mean too. Mute swans have actually killed people before, like that have gotten too close to their nests. They've drowned them, like attacked them so much that they drowned.
Nuts.
I know that I don't know if you were here for the painting of the mute swan that I showed. I'll show it again. But when I got the reference photos for this painting of the mute swan, I had a loaf of bread, and I got myself set up on the bank, and I had my daughter like go to the edge of the water a little ways away from me and throw them like pieces of bread to get them in close. There was a pair of them on the lake, and
I have a feeling I know where this is
I
heading.
shouldn't laugh, but when she ran out of bread, they attacked her. And she ran to the car screaming with the two swans behind her. They had to jump in the car, and it was mean of me, but I just sat there and laughed and laughed.
Well, it's not like they've got teeth or anything.
No, but they can be mean, and they're big birds. They're a lot bigger than people think they are. Unless you've seen them, they're pretty good sized birds. Oh, there's a wood duck. I didn't show this wood duck when I was showing pictures of water. I'll show you this one real quick.
Oh, did you go watch it, Trash Cat?
Here's a small oil painting of a wood duck. It was 12 by 24. And he was on the lagoon. It's a male wood duck. And he was on the lagoon in Livingston. And I was about 3/4 of the way done with the painting. And I decided I wanted to go down to the lagoon and finish painting the water, like sit there and paint it from life. So one thing about Livingston, Montana is it gets really windy. And this was like October. It was starting to get cold. The water was probably like 40 degrees. So it was cold. And I set up and I was finishing up the water and doing the reflections and stuff. And I had like a portable easel set up and all that good stuff. And I was painting away, and I took a step back and was looking at it from a little bit of distance to kind of see what else I needed to do. And a gust of wind hit it and picked up the whole painting and easel and everything, and it went over the bank.
Oops.
Which, yeah, it was like about a 6-foot bank down to the water. So, the painting went over the bank, and I went on a dead run. And when I got to the edge of the bank, I could see the painting, like it had bounced a couple times, and the easel was laying on the muddy bank, and the painting was just starting to sink into the water.
Shit.
So I ran down there, and I remember briefly wondering because I had on like a skirt, like a 3/4 length skirt, prairie skirt, and a pair of like granny boots. And I remember briefly wondering if my boots were waterproof, and they weren't. And then I grabbed the painting though. But then I was like down at the bottom of the bank, and everything was muddy, and it was colder than shit. And I couldn't get back up the bank because my skirt was dripping water, because I had on this long skirt, and it was like dripping water, and every step I took up, I just slipped back down again.
Uh-huh.
And then there was this lady up at the top of the bank, and she asked me if I was okay, and I said, not really, I can't get back up again. And by that time I was like shaking because it was cold. I was cold. It was wet and cold. And she like grabbed a hold of the tree and like stuck her arm down to help me up. And I handed her to the painting first because, that's more important than me, was getting the painting up there. So, but she helped me up, got me to my truck, made sure I was okay. She was actually a park ranger. And then about, I should take this down. It was about 3 days later, there was a knock on my door. And it was this lady standing there that had helped me out of the water. And she had come by to check and make sure that I was okay. I asked her how she knew where I lived, and she said she ran my license plate and got my address and came to check on me and to see if the painting was for sale.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. So there's a story for you.
Did she buy it?
No, it was too much money for her.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have a variety of wood duck in Australia as well, but they're certainly not as pretty. They're still a pretty bird, but they're not as pretty as your wood ducks.
Yeah, our wood ducks are probably our prettiest native duck that we have. It's probably the wood duck. The males are just really, really, really flashy. So the females are more, I actually prefer the females because they're more of a subtle color and markings than the males, but to me they're prettier. The males are almost too flashy for my taste, but but people like them and they're pretty. The Harlequin ducks are quite pretty too, but I'm not sure if they're native to the US or not, or if there's something that people bring in. You know what I mean?
No, but I'm typing it into Google as we speak.
Yeah, they're quite a pretty duck, but like I said, I'm not quite sure if they're native or not. I got a feeling that they aren't, but I don't know for sure. Oh, here's some mallards. I named this painting On Thin Ice. And it's some mallards on the lagoon in the wintertime. Let me see if I can get it pulled up here. This was just kind of a fun painting to do.
Eastern Canada, I think, was where they were first found.
Ah, okay, yeah. That doesn't surprise me. Like I don't think they're native to the US, but and people do have them.
They're a saltwater duck instead of a freshwater.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. But that's some mallards. And then let me see. I was going to go back to that mute one. I don't know why, because I already showed it once, but we shall go. Oh, I'm going the wrong direction. Clicking it back over the ones I just looked at.
Ah, yes, GRB. I had to Google that GRB, the Australian shell duck.
Shell duck?
Hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen them. In just a second, I'm going to look it up here.
They got some striking plumage, not quite as colourful as your other one, your wood duck that you just showed.
Wood ducks are generally like really shy and hard to get photographs of, but they wintered over in the lagoon in Livingston, so I got quite a few photographs of them.
No, our wood ducks here are definitely not shy. They'll just wander around a road for half an hour and stop traffic with their clutch of babies.
Really?
Yeah, they take their time when they want to cross the road. the mother duck will make sure that all of the babies are across the road. But thankfully, most people around here are, quite polite and they'll pull up and either wait or get out and, push them along and get them to cross the road. But that also can go wrong, because if you get too close to any, duck or goose babies, the mothers can get quite agitated. So often the best advice is to wait for them
the
to
wood
go.
ducks. The wood ducks are small. They're a really small duck, and they're really quite shy. And I've never heard of a wood duck attacking anybody. Like, so I'm lucky that they wintered in the lagoon, and I got so many photographs of them. But the way that they're different, that's a mute swan. The way that they're different from other ducks here is the wood ducks will actually lay their eggs in hollows in trees. And then when the babies get big enough, they kind of jump out and do the little flutter thing on their way down and roll a couple times and stuff,
It's like trial by fire, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Anytime I've seen that happen with any duck species that nests in hollows, they're never low to the ground, are they? They seem to pick really high.
They always have them way up high in the trees. Yeah. And then, like I say, when the babies jump out, they generally just have these little tiny little wings that are just starting to develop. So they're just basically just going to go on their way down and hit the ground and roll a little bit. Yeah,
lucky they're still birds, so they're light.
Yeah.
So they probably don't reach terminal velocity and probably land still quite comfortably without much injury. But it's a good way to teach your babies how to fly, or the basics at least.
Yeah. I wanted to look up pelicans there in Australia and see their beaks. Australia pelican. Oh, yeah, they look almost like a stork. They do have quite long beaks. Let me share that real quick. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, I got to go to present, share screen, and pelicans in Australia.
I got a little bit surprised then, because I looked up longest beak birds, and a hummingbird was the number one answer, but that's obviously in proportion to its body size.
Oh, yeah. But the Australian pelican has a pretty good sized beak there.
Yeah. And it's funny because I'm not sure if you get the same thing with pelicans over there, but you can find pelicans in the middle of the country, away from the coastline.
Oh, yeah. I've seen the white pelicans I've seen in Montana and Wyoming before, which is quite a long ways away from the coastlines.
Wow, your fun facts are awesome today, brother. Yeah, I'm not I'm not sure if they're the biggest pelican, but they've got the longest beak and they are a fairly massive bird. We have, instead of loons, we have cormorants, trash cat, which are a relative of the loon, I believe.
Yeah, we have some of those here too. Because I used to see them on Cape Cod all the time. They're like probably not the same bird, but you see.
In my area, we have pied cormorants and little cormorants, and there's another one as well. Well, I can't remember its name. Maybe it's just called a cormorant.
Yeah, I used to see them along the canal all the time when I lived on Cape Cod.
No, Huawei, we don't have any condors or vultures down here. We just have all the other birds of prey: eagles, falcons, kites, kestrels, hawks.
And we have turkey buzzards, and then there's a California condor, which I've seen before, but I've never seen one up close.
Another fun pelican fact. I believe that Alcatraz means pelican.
Oh, really? Huh.
I think it's like Spanish or Latin or Greek or something for pelican. Yeah, well, that's why the pelicans in Australia go inland, because they go inland awaiting the annual flooding of the inland lakes, which sometimes doesn't happen. So they probably mate a foul end if they go out there and there's no water in the lakes. They don't get any food to be able to fly back to the coast, which happens, quite often. Our inland lakes don't get to fill up because of droughts and whatnot.
Yeah. There is all the way across the United States too. I think there's seagulls, and you'd think they'd be over closer to the coast, but no. You get out like in Nebraska and stuff, and the farmers will be like tilling up their soil, and they'll be the tractors are followed by huge flocks of seagulls.
Yeah, right.
Because they're getting the mice that get like churned up out of the straw and stuff in the fields. There'll be lots of mice in there, and the seagulls will follow the tractor and get the mice as they come out of the grass.
Yeah, that's super opportunistic. There's a particular cricket ground in Australia, and it's inhabited by pigeons and seagulls because they hang out. They know that there's thousands of people there at any given day, and that they'll be able to pick up scraps and stuff.
Yeah, we've got seagulls like to hang out at McDonald's parking lots too, because my daughter and I used to call them the French fry birds.
Yeah, I remember having lunch with a friend of mine. This is not a nice story. It probably goes into the category of those ones that you were telling the other day on the last stream. But yeah, his favourite thing to do when he got, French fries or chips, as we call them down here, by the seashore, was he'd insert things into the chips, like bits of broken glass or sticks or rocks, and then feed them to the seagulls.
I caught a seagull one time when I was trolling from a boat, like fishing, and it swooped down and took the bait, and then it got hooked, and I had to reel it in and unhook it, but I have to admit I didn't reel it all the way in because it was pissed. So I reeled it in within like maybe 2 feet, and then I cut the line.
You should have just euthanized it for being a prick.
Yeah, I've heard of people feeding seagulls like Alka-Seltzer and stuff like that, which I guess does awful things to them.
Oh, Huawei's fact-checking me. Oh, it does mean pelican. Yeah, I thought I'd heard that somewhere. Does it mean fogging as well, though?
Oh, puffins are so pretty. I've never actually seen a puffin in real life before. I would love to.
Also called
Puffins
a
are so
sea parrot.
Yeah. Do you have puffins over there?
No, I think they're only northern hemisphere puffins.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're like up in Canada and stuff. Nova Scotia, those types of areas.
Yeah, it's funny how there's puffins in the Arctic Circle, but no penguins. But we've got all the penguins down in the Antarctic Circle.
Yeah.
It's weird how penguins never made it that far north. Or maybe they were there and they got wiped out by polar bears and Arctic foxes.
I lived on St. Paul Island. AK, is that like Alaska?
Alaska?
When I was a kid. Oh, if anybody wants to buy any art tonight, I do have this buffalo that I need to get a photograph of because you can't really see it. It is a young, like, none of the details shows up. But it's like the first winter time of a calf, so he's probably about 4 or 5 months old. Just starting to lose his red color and get some black on his face and stuff. And then I still have the bigger buffalo and the frog. I've actually never been to Alaska. I've always wanted to go up there, but I never have and probably never will now that I'm getting old. But I always wanted to go up to Alaska. Mostly just to see all the animals that are up there.
Today has been so stupid for weather. I got up this morning, the power was out. That was a brilliant start to the day when you want to start your day with a coffee. No power, but it was cool enough. It was nice and cloudy and cool still. And then within half an hour of getting up, it had started to heat up and get sweaty and gross.
Oh, wow.
And then the power came back on. Yeah, one of my fish tank filters did not come back on. It's one of those ones that needs a bit of a kickstart sometimes when it's powered off. And now it's like windy and cloudy and sunny at the same time. And I was very tempted to set up outside today, but it was just too sweaty out there still. Even though it's only 26 degrees, it's bloody humid and gross. Hello, June. June says she wants your drawing but can't pay until the 16th. Did you say a starting bid?
Oh, the big one of the buffalo on the papyrus paper has to be $200. And the little buffalo, like this little calf, be like probably $50 for a starting bid on it. And the frog, I can show you the frog.
I'm a frog, say.
Yeah. Opening bid on the frog would be about the same, about $50 for an opening bid on him. He's on papyrus paper too.
Heckle and Jekyll or something?
The big buffalo's $200 for a starting bid on him. A butt buffalo. A buffalo butt. Yeah, the calf has shown a bit of butt. The first butt of the year. Oh, it's cold in the house tonight. It's like 17 degrees outside right now. Which is still better than on Christmas Eve. It was -3 when I looked. So, yeah.
Do you really notice the difference, though, once it gets down that cold?
Yeah. Yep. There's a definite difference between being in the teens and being in the minuses. when it's in the minuses, it's like time to go to bed. Pull the blankets up over my head.
Yeah, we've had a few nasty storms in the last few weeks, Huawei, hitting different spots and whatnot. Thankfully, we've been missed so far.
No one draws butt like Pam. Well, thank you, I guess.
That's some serious kudos right there.
Well, the starting bid on the big buffalo, and it's like a 8x10, or if you wanted to custom frame it, you could make it bigger because the drawing's actually partially hidden in that mat. But the starting bid on it is $200, and it's on papyrus paper. And then $50 for the starting bids on the little buffalo butt and the frog. We've still got snow on the ground here from New Year's Eve because it's gotten up to 40 a couple times, but which is above freezing. So
not enough to melt snow.
Yeah, it melted it off the roads and places like that, but it's still on the ground, like in the yards and stuff. There's still quite a bit of snow there. That's totally true. Totally true, Sam. I only draw from experience. All my exes were asses. Yep. That is a fact.
I'm going to go and do a wee and get a beverage. I'll be back.
Okay. So we have, let's see if I can pull up a picture of the buffalo. I got to take a picture of the little one because holding it up to the stupid webcam absolutely does not show anything. And by the way, the people that have art coming will probably get I'll probably send out some tracking numbers tomorrow. I was going to go today, but I ended up getting rather busy with some stuff that I got and a delivery that I got and stuff. So I ended up not going today to the post office, but I'll probably go tomorrow because my feet are getting better. And I highly recommend compression to socks to anybody that has trouble with their feet swelling up because they do definitely work. I'm quite happy with that. So, okay, here I actually took a picture of the big buffalo, but I need to get a picture of the small one. And next time I stream, I'll show the small one, a photograph of it. I should have gotten a picture of it today, but I didn't. And there is the bigger buffalo. Do. But the papyrus paper, I really like the buffalo on the papyrus paper. The subject fit the paper really well. And I mostly was looking for a paper and subjects to draw because I was out of the bark paper, and I now have more bark paper. So no, but I need to do another butt, huh?
Yeah, do this one.
No. Blackie was about to get my stream demonetized.
Very easily. Too much hair content.
I do have some blue paper, though. I could probably do a pretty good drawing of your butt on blue paper.
Why would you do my butt on blue paper?
I don't know.
I think.
Because I'm cold.
Oh, so tempted to cut all my hair off. Tell ya.
I did mine. I totally chopped all my hair off.
Yeah, but it was only like 3 months since your last haircut.
No, it was getting down there quite a ways. I cut quite a bit off. Not as much as you have, but I cut quite a bit off of it. I probably cut a good 8 inches off of mine.
Yeah, that's what was wild when Scungy was on stream the other day, and she'd been telling me in the morning the amount of hair that she cut off hers.
She's got really long hair, though, even still.
It was still super long, so maybe she just did certain bits. Because some of it still looked just as long as it was.
Yeah. I usually don't let my hair get too long. When I was young and it was like really long, I used to get headaches because I have like I've always had like really thick hair. So when it gets long, it gets heavy, and it was giving me headaches, pulling on my scalp. And then just before I started first grade, my older sister, who had really thin straight hair, and I had like really thick curly hair. My mom used to make like Shirley Temple ringlets and stuff, just wrapping it around her finger. And my sister, for some reason, just before I started school, she like sat me down underneath the kitchen table and cut all my hair off. So I started school with like a pixie cut because my mom had to take me down to the beauty salon and get it like cut off really short to even it out.
Yeah, I kind of miss those GRB in the summer weather, but then I just convinced myself that it's only another couple of months and then the long hair will come in handy again. And I can always just do what I did and get it off my ears and off the back of my neck where all the heat comes from. Lol, Dusty. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to grow it before my body decides that I won't have hair up there anymore. My dad's still got plenty of hair on his head, a little bald patch in the back, which I'll probably get as well. But while it's still there, why
usually
not?
What I've heard is usually men get their hair from their mother's side of the family.
Yeah, usually. Like my brother, he's a couple of years older than me, and my mum's father was completely bald, and my brother is too. But yeah, I think I've got my hair from my dad's side of the family because lots of the males on my dad's side of the family still have all their hair, or most of it.
Yeah, my dad, even when he was dying with hi Aquafunk.
Funk.
When my dad was dying with cancer and getting treatments for it and stuff, he still had a full head of hair. He always had a lot of hair. And beard, and 5 o'clock shadow. And I remember when one of my uncles told me that when my dad was 12 years old, he got sent home from school with a note saying he couldn't come back to school till he shaved. And he was 12 years old.
Yeah, I had a mate in school. He was full bearded at about 14.
Yeah, that's the way my
But yeah,
dad was. And
that
he
was
would
like,
he would shave and come out of the bathroom like before he went to work. He always shaved before he went to work, and he would shave and come out of the bathroom, and you could see a 5 o'clock shadow on him
it
right
was
after
already
he
coming out.
shaved. Yeah,
Yeah, well, thankfully in those days of my mate, it was like the late 80s, early 90s. So, you know, they weren't bossing school students around that much then. Yeah, I don't need chicks to dig at Aquafunk. I only like trannies. And happy birthday if it is your birthday.
is it your birthday?
It was Huawei says happy birthday,
Oh yeah, he
Aquafunk.
did say it, huh? Oh, happy birthday!
It's very close to my birthday as well.
Yeah, your birthday was just a couple days ago.
He must only be a couple of years older than me.
You think?
Probably 5. I reckon he's 5 years older than me. It was, Kat, thank you for asking. It was beautifully quiet and peaceful. It was only my mum and my dad and myself here. I got a visit from one of my sons in the morning. One of my sons the previous afternoon bought me this very, very lovely bottle of whiskey made locally in this town. Treacherous radicals.
He's really close to your age, Blackie. He says he's 48 today, and you just turned 49. So
he's lying. He's got to be
really
older
close.
than me. Got to be older than me. But yeah. Then just the moment that I got up from my table outside to go in and fix the parentals some lunch, my sister and her oldest daughter and her husband and 2 of their kids turned up and they bought lunch.
Oh, nice.
So all I had to do was let them inside and then turn around and come back and sit outside on my own and just mellow out.
Very nice.
I didn't even have to make a sandwich. Oh, except for the one I made. Went in an hour later and made myself a sandwich out of their leftovers.
Yeah, speaking of hair, though, my son Tucker cusses me out once in a while
for making him bald.
Damn Irish hair, because he complains all the time because he's got like hair everywhere. He says it's from my side of the family because his dad's bald.
I think the biggest place that male pattern baldness has affected me is on my legs. I have barely any hair left on my legs at all, and I don't wear long pants all the time anymore.
George, hello.
G'day, George. But yeah.
Well, that's not a real bad thing. I hardly have any hair on my legs either, and where I burned my leg, I don't have any hair there at all.
Probably never again.
Yeah, probably never again.
But yeah, I was never a hairy person, but I'd certainly had some hair on my legs, but most of my legs are bald now. It's very interesting. Pardon me.
Oh my gosh, I was just looking at pictures of my son, Tucker. I'm going to show you this picture because I showed it to Kat and Sam the other day on and Trash Cat, I think. It was there. I showed him. I think I did on Discord. But anyway, this is my son Tucker. And this picture that I'm going to show you was a picture that my daughter took when she was visiting him, one of my daughters. and it was like totally an accident. But we call this picture Saint Tucker, and you'll see why in just a moment. This is one of my favorite pictures just because it was totally an accident. Isn't it Saint Tucker?
Praise be, and he's got his golden halo.
Yep, yep. It always makes me laugh. But yeah, that's one of my favorite pictures of him.
Yeah, Huawei, I think the hairiest part of my body, apart from my head, is the I like to call it my welcome mat. It's above the crack of my bum. I have this patch about yay big.
Oh God.
Thick hair.
Oh my God. We used to laugh at my dad because when one of the very few times we only saw him, like I think I only saw him in a swimsuit like 2 or 3 times maybe my whole life. But he looked like a gorilla with shorts stretched over the hair. He had a lot of hair.
Yeah, it's funny when you see those very hairy dudes in swimsuits, and even their swimsuits can't compress the hair down. It makes it bulges the swimsuit out.
Yeah, yeah.
Aquafunk likes the idea of my welcome mat.
Yeah, I saw that.
No kink shaming here. I had a dude here this morning. We've got termite bait stations all around our house. So they have particular chemical things in them, which if there's termites around, they come and have a nibble on, and they take it back to their nest and basically kill out the nest of termites. And when he was getting up into the roof for an inspection, there was a baby blue tongue lizard up in the roof, which might have been a pink tongue skink. Very similar lizards. Obviously, yeah. One has a blue tongue, one has a pink tongue, but very similar looking lizards. And it was just nuts to think that this little lizard was up in the roost. G'day, Mike. But yeah, I tried to, because up in the roof, I couldn't get through the timbers to reach it with my hand. So I got a little broom and tried to drag it back towards me so I could pick it up and take it out. But it disappeared down a crack into a different part of the roof. So I thought, oh, well, he's probably safe enough up there. Let him be.
Mm. There was little lizards I used to see when I was a kid in Eastern Oregon that had like blue stripes down their sides. They were probably some kind of a skink. And then there was ones that the horny toad lizards that look like a little tiny bearded dragon with the spikes on their heads and stuff. They were fast. I caught a couple before, but they were fast. will show everybody my art one more time if anybody wants to bid on anything. This, I need to get a photograph of this before the next stream so I can show it better, but it's a youngish buffalo calf, just starting to turn color and stuff his first winter. And then I've got the bigger buffalo and a frog on papyrus paper.
That frog
And
is mega cute.
I've got a couple little card ones, but I'm not sure where I put them, so I'll have to show them next time. Yep, the horny toads, they were fast. I caught a couple before, but then there was another kind that was like they were a lot slower, and they looked almost, they were fat, almost like a frog, but they had little spikies on them too, but not behind their head. And I got some of those, caught some of those and brought them home, and they actually had babies.
They're the ones that can squirt their blood out their eyes or something, yeah?
I think the bigger ones can, yeah. BJ, sorry, I got nauseated on my meds and had to walk away a bit, but I wanted to come back and repeat what I said to you earlier, and I think you missed it. I wanted to thank you for the advice. What advice? Never listen to me. What are you, crazy? I don't know what advice I gave you.
Drink lots of liquor before you take your medication.
That's not good advice, Wacky.
I'm going to have to confirm about the horny toad lizards. Yeah, it's funny. They kind of, it's probably a convergent evolution thing, but they kind of look a little bit like, not quite as many spikes as the Australia's thorny devil, which is a species of dragon, I believe.
Oh, nice.
But they're covered in spiky stuff like that horny toad.
The pygmy short-horned lizard. Yeah, this is the little fat guys, and they were slow and easy to catch. And I had some of them for pets. I'll share it here. These are the little fat guys. And these are the ones that had babies. I had some for several years, and they ended up having babies. It's a pygmy short-horned lizard. And they actually felt kind of soft. I mean, they look spiky, but when you petted them, they felt really soft.
Yeah, it's all just a disguise to fool predators. All those spikes and stuff.
And they were really slow and easy to catch when you saw them. The other kind was rather harder to catch.
At least 8 species are able to squirt an aimed stream of blood from the corners of the eyes for a distance up to 5 feet. They do this by restricting the blood flow leaving the head, thereby increasing blood pressure and rupturing tiny vessels around the eyelids. The blood not only confuses predators, but also tastes foul to canine and feline predators. It appears to have no effect against predatory birds. Yeah, very interesting. What a evolutionary tactic that is.
Yeah.
Squirt blood out your eyes.
We also chased down a kangaroo rat one time and caught it and took it home, and we had it like in a great big bird cage out in the garage. for a long time. We had that thing for years, but my dad was a truck driver, but he always wore like dress shirts to work. He'd wear slacks and a dress shirt and then have like pins in his pocket of the dress shirt. But my mom would wash his dress shirts and then hang them on a hanger out in the garage to dry. And then one time I stepped out in the garage and she'd hung up a shirt over the top of the kangaroo rat's cage. And the whole bottom of his shirt was gone and he had a nice new vest. Oh.
Are they native?
Yeah. Yep.
Because, yeah, do we have kangaroo rats here?
Oh, do you? They're probably different because, like, we have opossums, but your possums are totally different than ours.
I'm not even sure if our kangaroo rats are marsupials or if they're just rodents. I'm going to have to Google that one now. Kangaroo rat is a rodent.
Yeah, here they're just a rodent. The ones here, but yeah, we caught one of them. He was fast and hard to catch too.
So our Australian ones. Let me refine my search because it does say North America, but I'm sure we've got a Australian version. Pardon me. We've got a rat kangaroo. Maybe we've got kangaroo mouse. Yeah, Rufous rat kangaroo is a type of betong, which is another small marsupial wallaby type creature. And we have kangaroo mouse, not kangaroo rat, which almost looks identical to your kangaroo rat from North America anyway. But they are.
Yeah, it does. It looks almost the same, huh?
Yeah, and they're
really close to the same.
They're native rodents, not marsupials. Isn't it though, Huawei?
I know, huh?
Why share screen when we can just use words?
That's right. That's right.
I'm trying to decide if that's biting sarcasm or actually, serious enthusiasm for how.
I think it was biting sarcasm.
Well, what we're doing, Huawei, is we're giving everyone the opportunity to Alt-Tab and do their own Google searching.
Yes, that's right.
It's 2024 after all. No one gets a free pass anymore. You've got to do the work.
Yes, any bids for the art? We're going to close down the stream pretty soon. And it would be nice to be able to pay at least one bill.
It's always fantastic to know that Kat Mackenzie's there when I'm failing at my my duties as auctioneer and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll probably have to do another auction in a couple days because I seriously do need to sell something.
What about dragging that one out of storage and posting it on Facebook or something? Get yourself a payday.
Yeah. It's hard to get anything out of storage without a truck to get over to Cheyenne because my storage is in Cheyenne. So it'll have to wait.
As long as you don't have kids telling you not to sell it, waiting to sell it posthumously.
Oh my God, I had them fighting over my art before, so we don't want to do that again. I had some of my older pieces that I did in high school and shortly thereafter, and I thought I was being fair because I was going to give each one of the kids one of the paintings, right, that I did when I was in high school. So I figured I would go with my oldest, which is my daughter Jessica, and let her pick out which one she wanted. And then Tucker would be the next one, and then Courtney, and then my youngest daughter. And so I thought I did it the smart way, but Jessica told me which one she wanted, and then 2 days later she changed her mind and she wanted the one that Tucker picked. And I told her it was too late. Everybody had already picked them, and she got really mad, and it caused a great big fight with everybody. And I ended up getting mad and telling them, well, that's fine. You aren't going to get nothing till I die. Then that made everybody mad at me. And it was not a fun week. It was not a fun week.
And we haven't spoken since.
Yeah, it was not fun.
Speaking of which, though, how do you think you're like, I imagine an artist with the talent that you've got has that talent from a very young age. Your art in your high school years, how does it compare to your art from, you know, nowadays? Has your technique refined, or was it just as good back then?
I know a lot more about color than I did back then. But I could draw pretty well when I was in high school.
So your main advancement has been like that stuff you were talking about reflected light and all that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. Good to know. Thank you.
But I hope what I do now is better, because you try to learn every piece that you do, you try to learn from and improve for the next one.
No, I'd be really interested to see some of your high school work. Not just to draw comparisons, but to see how your work's evolved.
I could probably do that.
I wasn't fishing.
I think I've got some of it posted on Facebook, so I'll go check and see if I do.
I do have a friend coming over soon for a visit. So when he shows up, I may just have to split.
Oh, like right now?
No. He's due late this afternoon, so
okay.
His arrival time.
Well, I'm not going to keep going for too much longer right now, anyway. So.
What did you do in high school, Nonna? What was your high school work? I'm hoping you're talking about art as well. Oh, another thing too. I discovered I have baby swordtails in my big 6-foot fish tank.
Oh, neat. Very
And
cool.
They're a centimetre long, just under half an inch long. So they've been in there for a while. I've counted 4 so far. which is probably pretty impressive considering there's 2 predatory catfish in there that could eat them at any minute. But they're definitely a big enough size now that the other swordtails can't eat them. And due to the fact that I bought 8 female swordtails a couple of weeks ago, I'm hoping big time that my population expands mega.
Oh, I'll show you the painting that the fight was all about. Do you want to see the painting that the fight was about?
Of course.
Tucker's got it because, like I say, Jessie picked out a different one first, and then she changed her mind. But by that time, I'd already given them, to everybody. So, and I wouldn't back down, and of course, and change my mind. And she said, "Well, if Tucker wanted to change his mind, you'd do it." And yeah, you know how fun kids can be. Oh, it was a
But
fight.
was she right? Was she right? If Tucker changed his mind,
No,
would you
once I had given them away, that was everybody had picked out what they wanted. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, it was this painting here. I did this one when I was a senior in high school. That one there.
Oh wow! So you've had the skill from a young age, definitely. Look how gorgeous you are.
Yeah.
What a cutie.
Well, thank you, I guess.
Skitty Nonna says, Pam, if you get together some of all drawings, I'll buy some.
Oh, okay. I will get them together in the net. It's getting late now, but I'll do a stream and maybe in a day or two and throw some more little ones up then. That would be good.
I don't believe I used past tense Huawei. I think I said Didn't I? Didn't I? Someone's going to have to go back and check. I'm very, very cautious when I talk about such things.
Yeah, you can get yourself in big trouble. I think I've got another painting that I did just slightly out of high school when I was just learning about how to use color.
TJ says, hey, that's from us growing up. What, maybe 2nd grade?
What was from us growing up?
I'm assuming that last picture you posted of you very young.
This one here is when my sister gave me a haircut. Since we talked about it, I'll show it real quick. Just because. Right there.
You're allowed to do that, Huawei, as moderator.
Yeah, that was like when I started 1st grade. And my sister had cut my hair for me.
And that's pretty tight that TJ remembers the time scale. Considering you're both so old that memories must be so sketchy nowadays.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, she says before she knew you. Yeah, just be careful of that one in the blue t-shirt. That one, yeah, that one. That makes me sketchy all the time.
This one here?
Smoke show. Look at it. Whoa. What a babe.
That was probably like about 19.
No bad haircuts. Oh, thank goodness you said 19. Goodness, I didn't want to sound like a pedo or anything.
Oh, I didn't even realize that they were still up.
Beautiful head of hair.
Let me see. I was looking for the other painting. I'll show you the other painting that Jessica originally picked out, and then she decided that she wanted the old Indian woman instead, and it was too late. And all hell broke loose. I love my kids. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't love my kids. I do love my kids. It's just that particular week was a hard week.
No doubt. Nona.
Everybody was mad at me, and I mean everybody was mad at me. Oh.
I think Nona's out of here. She's leaving. She'll come back.
Oh, okay. Have a good night.
Thanks for hanging out, Nona.
Yes, definitely. And like I said, I'll probably do another stream. Like, I'll give it a couple days, like maybe Thursday, because I always say, like, I'm going to do a stream the next night, and then I never do, because it's like, oh, I just streamed last night. I don't want to do another one. So we'll give it at least 2 days. So maybe Thursday night. Oh, I don't know where I put it. I don't see it in here either. Huh. What did I do with it? Where did I hide it? Maybe, I know I have it in the background of one of my photographs of myself, so I'll check there. Yeah, the other one is in the background. This is the one that she picked first, and then she decided that she wanted the old Indian woman instead, but it was too late because like everybody had already made their picks. And she was not happy, but I think they worked it out where eventually they'll get some prints made of the old Indian woman so everybody can get a print, is I think how we ended up, like, figuring out how to do it. But the painting in the background there is the one that she picked, which was the old man. And she said old man, so I thought she wanted that one. And then, no, she wanted the old Indian woman. But Tucker's got the old Indian woman now, and she's got the old prospector guy.
That still looks like a pretty awesome picture. And did you say that's a photo of you?
Yeah.
Nice helmet.
Yeah.
This is how you fool the cops when you're riding down a highway on a motorbike. Helmets aren't everywhere, are they? And Sketty Nona says, kids, you give them something and you end up in trouble. Same with mine.
Yep, everybody was mad by the time that week was over, everybody was mad at me because somebody kept calling me like 2 or 3 times a day because she was upset because she wanted that other painting. And I finally got so frustrated, I told her that's it. Nobody's getting anything. So then she called everybody else and told them that I said nobody was getting anything. And then everybody was mad at me.
Subterfuge.
Yeah.
Which one was that? Jessica.
Yeah.
Tusk, Jessica.
Yeah, she's my oldest, and then Tucker's my next oldest.
How many you got? 3, 4, 3.
4. But it is after 11, and I'm going to say that it's time to say goodnight to everybody. And I'll probably do a stream and try to sell some art on Thursday night. I do it tomorrow night, but like I said, I know that tomorrow's going to come, and I'm going to go, oh, I just streamed last night. I don't want to stream again. So we will do it Thursday night. And I'll find the little card ones and maybe do a couple more. So we'll have some little ones for sale too.
And if you see that a notification comes up on your YouTube or something saying that Pam's going to stream in a day or something, share it out. Share it to your grandma and everyone else.
Yep, that's right.
That'll be really lovely and helpful. Thank you.
And thank you, everybody, for coming in. And thank you, Grasshopper, Trash Cat, for modding. And thank you, Blackie, for coming up with me.
No worries at all. TJ, I'm Michael Black.
And
on
Bob,
Facebook.
if you're watching.
I've fully thought he was going to come back in, so I think he might have just fell back asleep.
He might have, yeah.
Yeah, Michael Black on Facebook, TJ, Mullumbimby, New South Wales, Australia. You'll find me that way if you want.
Is Facebook, I'll send you a link to his Facebook page when I get a chance, probably in the morning or something, TJ.
Or just scroll through Pam's Facebook friends and you'll find me on there.
Yeah.
I look like this.
Yeah. And thank you, everybody, for coming in and hanging out with us and putting up with looking at boring art and shit. And good night, guys.
Thanks, everyone. See you next time.